welcome back. We have our third match coming up. I'm Gandhi.
And I'm Shockwave. This third match going to be going Classic versus Pure. But before we get into this match, we kind of want to talk about a little bit what's going on with the pools. We see in Pool A, you guys just watch it, Carbon 3-0ing. What was the team they were playing, Scott?
They were playing, give me a second. Oh, FPF.
FPF, yes.
Yeah.
FPF actually defeating Straight Ribbon before that. Right now, Carbon in a good position. They're up 2-1 in their in the pool. Going against Turning Point, they're going to be going for second place as well as Turning Point, who's also 2-1 after losing to Instinct. Instinct right now kind of running away with the pool. They're looking pretty dominant there in Pool A.
Yeah, it's really no surprise in Pool A to see Instinct just emerging out on top. But now we have the epic battle between second place. Those teams will be guaranteed. Whoever finishes second place in their pool will receive top 12 guaranteed. The loser will be receiving top 16 guaranteed. So Turning Point and Carbon both have to win that match. That's going to be a good one. Ghost Ayami versus Walshy. And then in Pool B, as we have Status Quo just still dominating the competition.
Yeah, Status Quo seeming to run away with their pool right now. I think they're at 3-0 right now, defeating their amateur team. If not, I think it's safe to say that they're probably going to be able to pull that off, and they might be running away. But actually, I want to talk about Pool C. Right now, we have some interesting things happening. You know, we have Believe the Hype that's most likely, they're undefeated in their pool. They're looking at the top spot. But Quantic Fire still kind of in it.
Yeah, they won their first match of the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had to be DQ'd yesterday because one of their players did not end up showing up. And that's kind of going to set them back a little bit. But I was talking to Clutch a little bit. He was telling me kind of the scenarios. Right now, Active Rush, I believe, beat the amateur team that came out in their pool. Can't exactly remember. I think it might have been – it's not Pure, is it? It might have been Pure. But either way,
sure.
It looking like Fire might do pretty well in their pool. They're looking at possibly a 4th or 3rd place finish, which is a lot better after seeing as they got DQ'd in their first two matches.
No one's really going to know what's going to happen in Pool C. But Severance actually was defeated by Legendary, but we have yet to see an amateur team actually win on our main stage versus one of our pro teams. It seems as though as soon as the pros step on the main stage, the amateurs stand no chance. But will that change when we have Classic going up against Pure?
I think it's definitely possible, but Classic has definitely been very confident. I've gotten to talk to Prototype, Chig. They both feel extremely good. Both their series yesterday, they lost to Status Quo 3-2.
In a great game.
In an incredible Game 5. And then they managed to go on and beat Evil 3-2, and again in a really intense Game 5. So far, they're almost looking like the Heart Attack kids. They're really having a tough time. But at the same time, they're still in it, depending if Status Quo possibly loses their final match, goes 3-1. We can see a tie at the top. Classic maybe trying to sneak in.
Yeah, probably trying to weasel their way in. But another thing that's really awesome is that now we're seeing as, although Instinct, Status Quo, Believe the Hype, and now we have a two-way battle for Pool D, but we see all the other teams are just battling for that second spot. So the top-tier teams always seems to be like clinching onto the first place, but it's an epic struggle for second place, which is awesome to see because the level of competition is just skyrocketing through.
Yeah, I think it's most interesting, too, that this is the first event that we're seeing right now. The 4 top seeds from the pools start to clinch the top spot. Yeah. You see you have Instinct in Pool A, you've got Status Quo in Pool B, Believe the Hype, who both me and you doubted a little bit coming into this tournament. Puckett, obviously, thought they were going to win. We had Final Boss, but Believe the Hype looking incredibly strong. And then in Pool D, I think Pool D is going to be the most interesting. You've got Dynasty and you got Infamous. They're going to be facing off, I believe, at 3:30. Make sure to watch that match. It's going to probably decide the winner of Pool D. But we may see here in Raleigh the first time all 4 teams from the top of the pools are going to advance to the winner semis.
Yeah, and people who come out of Pool D get so screwed because they have to face Instinct right off the bat for Saturday night. So they come out of a ridiculous struggle just to win the Pool of Death, and then they get faced with Instinct. So, I mean, not the best bracketing. So if I was a team, I would definitely want to come out of Pool C or B because both of those teams are a little bit weaker than Instinct, clearly, because Instinct's way too dominant.
Yeah, we can talk about Instinct. But when we talked about Dynasty, is one of the teams that we think has a shot against Instinct, though. So obviously, you know, if Instinct was looking at Pool D, I'm expecting they want to see almost everyone but Instinct. Not to knock on Infamous. I think Infamous is a great team. But looking at past performances, Infamous is a brand new team. Dynasty's proven that they can compete with them. Actually, they're the only team to take a game from Instinct back in the winners bracket finals of Columbus. So if there is a match you do want to see, Dynasty, I think, has a chance to take a few games from Instinct, possibly even beat them. But we're going to have to see. Instinct looking so dominant. They still haven't dropped the game.
That's a bold statement there, Chris. But we are currently just waiting on Classic to get to the stage. All those pros are just so tardy to all their matches, you know?
It's looking good, though. I mean, you see Pure, they're already getting ready. They're warmed up. Actually, Pure being beaten by Evil a little bit ago. They lost in a tough, I believe it was a Game 5. It might have been a Game 4, but they definitely took a game at least off of Evil. And, I mean, they did look pretty strong. I actually got to go out there and watch it just a little bit. And Pure is a team that you don't want to sleep on, Scott.
Really? You think Pure could cause some upsets here? And Classic isn't really a team to overlook anyone because they are still technically the underdog, especially coming into this event. Everyone considers them a fluke. Do I? No, because they took Status Quo to an awesome Game 5 where it came down to only 2-kill differential. So they're clearly not a fluke, but will they do the same performance as they had at our last event? I am not sure. This losers bracket is looking incredibly stacked already. I mean, you're going to have either Infamous and Warriors or Dynasty and Warriors coming out of Pool D into the losers bracket alone. And then you have Straight Rippin', Carbon, Turning Point. You have Final Boss, and then whoever else is in Pool B. I can't remember it. But that's just going to be crazy. It's going to be so stacked.
You mentioned a team I do kind of want to touch on a little bit, and that's got to be Straight Rippin'.
Yeah. You can take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, that to say the least. You know, it's a team with players with so much potential, so much skill, and it just seems, I know that they practice coming to this event, it's just that they haven't meshed together like we all imagined them to be able to. You know, they played tough for some of the matches yesterday. You know, they had a game, they won a game against Turning Point, but Turning Point ultimately pulled it out. But those games were close. It wasn't like Turning Point was blowing Straight Rippin' out of the water. But now today, you saw, or at least I saw them, they lost against the amateur team. Is it Legendary?
FBF.
Or FBF, sorry. They lost FBF, with Bullets and that team. It was tough for them, you know. You could see it on their faces right after. This is not the tournament that they're really expecting to have, especially coming in practice.
So, I mean, with that said, Straight Rippin' has land. They didn't miss a single day of practice coming into the event. Do you start to question the team change possibly forming? Now, you can't ever count out any team. We learned that from Warriors. They won 52 games, or they played 52 games to get 4th place. So I will not ever rule out a veteran like T-Squared, and that entire team was filled with veterans. But if they get a disappointing outside of the top 8 finish, do you contemplate a team change now? I mean, it's approaching the end of the season.
You gotta think. There was only 3 weeks really of practice that you could get, or 4 full weeks you can get a practice between Anaheim and Raleigh. And that's not the most amount of time you can practice. I know T-Square was probably playing Halo. I wonder how much practice they actually got together as a team. They did have the LAN against Final Boss. But most of these teams now are used to landing against multiple different teams, playing against multiple different styles, being able to kind of adapt their gameplay. And I always felt, you know, you land against one team, and it's going to be really tough to kind of come to a tournament and adapt to these new different play styles, you know, especially if you go against FB, say they're a very passive team. You're going to be used to teams kind of sitting back. You're going to be used to kind of doing what you want during the game, especially if you want to be aggressive. You're going to be used to what they can give you. But then all of a sudden you come to the event and you play a team like Turning Point, who's all out, super aggressive. They're going to be charging into your base, causing a lot of trouble. They just really maybe are not used to kind of countering that style of play. They're not used to kind of guarding against what Turning Point maybe did, the strategy of Walshy kind of always getting behind their base, not shooting, sneaking around. Maybe they didn't see that when they played Final Boss, and therefore they weren't ready for it actually come tournament time.
Yeah, and it's as though the Halo realm has actually taking a step back and actually has entered into the Stone Age where teams will only have a max of a 3-team LAN. With the retirement of the LAN network, Mr. Pinocchio really putting competitive gaming on a completely different level. I mean, bringing all his viewers 16 LANs, 5-team LANs, 27-team LANs, just thousands of kids in shoes, just overwhelming. No one knows what's going on. And, and that actually really benefited the pro players a lot there. But now it's all on them. There's no more structure. It is on them to set up the LANs, and that's going to play a huge impact. The more structured teams will get the LANs, hence why teams like Turning Point with Walshy, Instinct with everyone who's actually really determined, and Straight Rippin' were the 3 teams who land coming into this event.
And on that subject, we do want to give out a shout-out to the LAN Network and Mr. P for all you've done thank you so much for letting all these guys come to your house, for everything, the gaming house. That thing was absolutely phenomenal, and we hope that one day, it can get back up and running. But unfortunately, like you were talking about, teams that are going to be able to land are going to be the ones that live close in proximity and seem to be a little bit more dedicated than the other ones. For the most part, there's a lot of players that are still pro in school. They're not able to take days off, weeks off possibly, to go and land. But that's not a problem with some of these teams, and I think they're really going to have a huge advantage in the coming months, especially coming with these big tournaments, maybe the national championships, to be able to practice a lot more.
Yeah, with school back in session, I mean, a lot of teams are going to be hindered by that. But I think we are going to go to a commercial. When we get back, Classic versus Pure will be taking place on the main stage, broadcasted by me and you. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. Game number 1 about to be taking place on the main stage. Fnatic Classic going up against the team who emerged from the grueling amateur bracket, NBG Pure. Game number 1 will be capture the flag on Redemption, and we are waiting for Super Straight Sick to adjust his shoulders. Apparently, he is superstitious in regards to that.
Yeah, he needs the right shoulder pads, the right helmet, the right chest armor. Can't be playing without it.
Oh, and here we go. We're looking at it. Look at his guy, just his Noble 6 looking all pretty. And we are getting ready to dive into match number 1. As the players are starting it, we're going to send you guys a map graphic.
Put that in the middle.
Capture the flag.
Game number 1 underway. We are starting off board with Chig. We are excited to feature this map. This is the first time we were able to put it on the main stage this event. I love this game type. It's just so chaotic and so much tragedy going all over the place. This Tri picks up a double kill with the Rockets. Straight Sick has the sniper. There's no form of any control.
Well, Classic, all 4 down going right there. They're now starting to spawn. So 3 up. They're going to be pretty much even strength. But Tri picking up the Rockets. You see the flag now moving from Pure. It's all the way back to their platform. And it looks like Pure is going to get a really quick flag cap after they get this return.
Let's make that a 5-kill spree as Tri is just lighting up. Now, of course, if you missed our Anaheim broadcast, we will explain everything about this map. There is an extra 2 spawn points on green, so the influence on green is still heavily, you have to have a heavy influence on it or else the team will spawn there.
At the same time, teams can use that to their advantage if they want to block the bottom yellow spawns as they're running. They'll know a team is spawning at green, and if they all converge there, it's a great chance to spawn trap. But this game seems to remind me a lot, actually, about Sanctuary back in Halo 2. In this game, you really need to get a full set of kills on the other team to be able to get in their base. And as you run the flag back, you're going to need to get a full set of kills on them again to actually get a flag cap, because it's pretty easy to get in the other team's base.
That's for sure. With the ability to sprint, you are able to get from point A to point B rather quickly. And now we have Russo getting ready to put in the first flag for him, but no, he's going to be stopped by the only Toxic, just stopping him short. Will Straight Sick win the battle? Yes! Looks like they will be able to tie this game up at 1-1. 2 minutes, 1-1 potentially, as long as Chig can get the return. Awesome job from Classic back on board, answering the call of Pure. But already Pure is doing an excellent job, and I'm extremely impressed. All of them are shooting awesomely.
Yeah, battle here from Straight Sick, actually taking down Tri, but going down to the only, or killing the only Toxic, I should say. Going down by Tri, but here is Prototype, and he's got the Sniper Sky. This kid, we've talked a lot about him. He had an incredible tournament in Anaheim with the Sniper, and I think has really exploded onto the scene as one of the best snipers and maybe one of the best slayers.
For sure. I mean, it's still going to be hard to be considered one of the best when you just make your first splash at a tournament. The community is really hard on that. They want to make sure they aren't a fluke before they give anyone any sort of credit. But looking at his shots, he's just doing an awesome job at controlling top middle. Chig is going to be pushing up from yellow plat, and Straight Sick has the sniper on the yellow plat. Just a full-out yellow push. They are trying to force Pure to spawn at green, but instead they are still spawning at their base. And Prototype is going out of control, and he loses the battle. The only Toxic coming in the clutch.
Unfortunate there for Prototype, but the Rockets now are up. They're going to be in the hands of Aptitude as he makes his way to the other team, or to the Classic base. Now we're seeing another flag pull here by Pure, and it goes top mid, Scott. It seems that when this game type, every flag is essentially going to be going top middle. There's really no other better way to run it.
Yeah, every other route you're pretty much screwed at. But it seems every 3 minutes, Pure is going to be able to get a flag because they're doing such a good job at controlling the Rockets. Aptitude is in the team's base as Try is looking for Russo, who is at his base. Maybe it's Chig. I'm not sure which one it is. It's one of the 4 players. Try is going to be hit by a grenade. Aptitude is just going to be on the prowl, going for some no-scopes.
I have a feeling he thought he was going to get killed from behind there. He didn't want to necessarily take the time, and he thought, you know, Scott, no-scopes, they work pretty well in this game.
Yeah, it seems the Noble 6 actually has a bigger hitbox with the no-scope in this game, so a lot of people don't give that much credit to the no-scope, but it's still pretty freaking hard.
Yeah, Classic running the flag now. They did not take it top middle. I know we just talked about how flags seem to be going top middle. They decided to take it to the top yellow where they had most of their teammates. And we talked about it, the spawns. When you bring it yellow, it's going to be pretty hard. You know that they're going to be spawning at green because of that extra influence. And as they ran it yellow, they just locked down the green base, made it very easy flag cap.
Excellent execution from Classic as Prototype is running around with the evade. I love evade on this map. It's so awesome. I'm such a fan of evade. It doesn't even matter if they're not doing anything important. I just love seeing the guy just roll around, and Prototype just slaying right now. He's doing an awesome job. He's going for a flagpole. This one's going to be actually he's going to stop it. I thought he was going to run it top middle, but he knows the sniper is down, and he has to reload. What a dagger!
The head is pretty rough right there, but going for the no scope here.
No,
that looked pretty good to me. I thought we were going to see a shot beat down. But Aptitude's now taking advantage of that mishap and is running the flag top middle, spots Russo into his base. And it seems though Classic in a good position top mid to be able to stop the flag.
Classic doing an excellent job swarming over Pure, but Aptitude still did an awesome job. They did not lose complete control of the map. And Straight 6 actually going underneath Pure's bases. He's going to spot whatever his name is, Platinum. Yeah, he's going to spot Platinum, pick up the sniper. He's not going to get a flagpole. I'm not sure. I personally would have grabbed the flagpole as a distraction to pull them back since 2 members of his team have died.
Because those 2 members died, I think that's why Straight 6 decided he was going to try to stay alive. But I don't necessarily know about the positioning. He decided to hide down at his base. Pure knowing full well what he was planning on doing. Either way, we see Classic is doing a good job controlling the map in general, and the Rockets are about to pop in 3 seconds. It seems a Classic in a good spot to try to grab him.
And as soon as you say that, the members of Pure just swarm it, and Aptitude rockets himself. Oh no, not the best decision. And Classic's actually still going to be taken down. That is 2 members down as Platinum picks up a double kill. Try grabs the Rockets. He's going to be naded. The only Toxic has the sniper, and that's my biggest pet peeve with this map, is that the sniper actually still gets picked up by every player. You can't really put it to use on this map, Chris.
Yeah, exactly, Scott. We just haven't seen a kid with a sniper completely take over.
Oh, as soon as we say that, Russo just putting the bullet in his face.
Well, obviously you can get some headshots on this map, but when we talk about takeover, we're thinking in the lines of Roy on Sanctuary or Roy on Zealot. I mean,
Roy on whatever map has a sniper.
Except it doesn't seem that we've seen anyone go with the sniper and just completely dominate this map, shut a team down. I think it has to do with a lot of these angles. There's a lot of places where you're just kind of in the line of sight, then immediately out, and it's hard to get good sniper shots. Pretty much everywhere you can snipe from, you can also get shot with the DMR.
Russo trying to do some damage. He's going to get back smacked. There you go, back smack on Twitter. I said it correctly for you. Pure, though, still in this game. They're down by 1 flag cap after just 7 minutes of play. And the only Toxic, the first time we featured him on our main screen, just really doing a good job. I know you don't get the chance to look at the blue screens, but he's really impressing me. He goes in great positions, and he listens very effectively.
The only Toxic was actually on Reality Check last event.
RC.
And I talked to the Suds sometimes, you know, I've definitely talked to him.
You dabble.
But I played the only Toxic in the Dr. Pepper Lounge. I got to warm up one time. And this kid has some serious skills, Scott. His shot is on point. And I was watching him drop 20 kills in every team Slayer when he was playing in that lounge.
Just like that, Classic is rallying in another flag cap. That is 4-2. The next flag for Classic will win. Pure cannot make any mistakes right now.
They do have 7 minutes left in this game, and it is only 4-2. And we have seen comebacks, Scott.
Yep.
But I think on Redemption, when it comes down to it, teams are going to have a hard time rallying flag caps, only because it's pretty easy to get those flag stops. And on top of that, it's really hard to control the map for an extended period of time.
Well, let's not forget, this is Pure's first time on the main stage, so they still have the nerves. It's very nerve-wracking to experience the main stage when you are an amateur, and it's just a lot, especially when you're going against pros that you look up to.
And I think a huge difference here between these two teams is the Classic knows that they belong here. They played on the main stage, and in their heads right now, they definitely are a better team. Pure, on the other hand, is right now looking to kind of make a name for themselves, kind of upset Classic. And I think the ability of Classic to, stay a little bit calm, whereas Pure is a little bit more fired up, maybe a little bit more antsy, is really going to go in Classic's favor.
Try picking up another kill as we have Aptitude attempting to run this flag, but two members of his team go down, and Try gets another set of rockets. He gets every rocket, and there's his killing spree. Aptitude's going to throw this flag top middle. There's 2 members of Classic dead. Platinum's coming off the respawn. The only Toxic is looking for the rockets bottom middle, and Aptitude is just going to try to haul this in, but Prototype spots them, and his teammate rockets.
And Classic is 2 down. Straight Sick going for the return, but is going to be stopped. Russo's the only one that can stop the flag, but he did, and he's got the rockets. Ooh, he got the kill.
Yep.
So right there, the flag now down, and that's not a good spot for Pure to be running the flag. I mean, you can just throw a ton of grenades there. It's going to be really hard for Pure to run that in. Now you can see Chig is going to be going for the return, and Classic's going to be all fine in the Pure base and maybe looking for their own counterattack.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem with running at bottom middle. 9 times out of 10, you will either spawn at green or your base, and you can throw such easy nades and and stop the flag guy from capping. So not the best route, but still valiant effort. Pure is trying their hardest to win this game, but Classic is simply saying no.
We see Chig making his way up to top yellow. He's going to be grabbing the sniper rifle. And a member of Pure just running by people, not really doing much. And we now see Prototype is already top middle. He's on his way back to his plat with the flag. And I think that Pure will be able to get a touch, delay this flag, but it seems that Classic has map control and should be able to get the slays necessary for the flag cap.
Chig's helping out his teammate. He knows he's coming in. He hits him in the body, but no, Pure gets a double kill from Platinum. Try is going to be taken down. They did not get a flag pull, so this will be the game. There we have it. Classic winning game number 1 on Capture the Flag on Redemption. They are up 1-0. Let's take a look at the stats. We have Straight Stick dropping a +9, Prototype +3, Russo doing, just even. And then the last member actually only having single-digit kills, Chris.
It just didn't seem too good over there on that blue side either. All negative, or one of them went even. And that's not good. Obviously, slaying is not everything in Capture the Flag games, but when you outslay it to a point of about 15 or a few more extra kills, you're going to definitely be in a great position. And you can see Straight Stick and Prototype, they considered the slayers here on Classic, doing a great job. And I think I wanted to mention the composure out there by Classic. You saw them after the game. You could see how focused they are. Like I said, they know that they're the favorites in this match. They know that they're the ones that are supposed to win. And you can see it on their faces. They are so focused right now.
I have to agree with you. You got the hood up right here. Game number 2 is going to be Team Slayer Sanctuary. Will Pure tie up the series? Stay tuned and find out.